Hello and welcome to the Noted Podcast. This is your weekly Friday episode. This one will be releasing a little bit earlier than normal. Probably should be released on Sunday, just because the KENOBI series first two episodes were released on Fridays instead of Wednesdays. But normally this will be Friday, and I am uber excited to talk about this show. But first things first. Your other host, Eric.
Hello.
I think this is the most excited to do any review I've been since we started the podcast.
Nice.
I don't know about you, but this I've been. I mean, I know you love KENOBI, and you and I have been just fiending to see how the show is going to turn out.
Oh yeah, I've been jonesing for it.
So, casting-wise, I think that's a great place to start, is that I'm just so happy they brought back Ewan McGregor. I can't imagine anyone else playing a younger KENOBI. We know Hayden's in it. He doesn't really show up in any of the first two episodes, but we know he is in it.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. But what we're going to do is, because they did release the first two episodes in the same day, we're just going to do two different episodes, one on each episode. So they'll be a little bit shorter each, and we'll just go from there. So, initial thoughts.
I enjoyed it. There were a lot of things that I didn't like about it, just because I felt like there were a lot of like Disney-isms in it. You know, having to like make it kind of comedical and kind of funny. And I know that Star Wars is funny, but in my brain, I feel like a series that is only going to be 6 episodes long, and I just didn't want it to be like it wasn't slapstick by any means, but like I just felt like a lot of it was I'm also really nitpicky.
What parts did you feel like were over comedic? Because at least, especially the first episode, I didn't feel like there was much comedy in the first episode. I thought the first episode was pretty serious the whole way through. I mean, maybe Leia. I could see Leia as being a little bit where like the comedy you might be seeing.
Yeah, this is also just me not liking, kind of irrelevant storytelling, I guess. Like, I think that it's important for them to, make a good story, and especially with like KENOBI being deserted on a planet, like, okay, well, we're not just gonna have an entire series of him training, trying to talk to Qui-Gon on a planet for 6 episodes. Like, that'd be boring as hell. But I think the reason for them to like, I don't know, I just think them using Leia as like oh well, she's also in trouble, it makes sense, but I just thought it was kind of a weak plot to get him off of a planet and like his one last fight, as Leia's dad says, like, this is your last one kind of thing. It just made me go like, yeah, I mean, that's cool. And it would also make sense to like why she would know KENOBI, because, in A New Hope, she's like, I need Obi-Wan Kenobi's help kind of thing. Like, now it all kind of makes sense to why and how she knows who he is, and like it gives good backstory. I just thought that like the reasoning for it, like the third sister or whatever,
could have been a little stronger.
Yeah, it was just like, how did she know that Leia is Anakin's kid? And how does she even know who Anakin is?
So that's the thing, though. I don't think she knew Leia was Anakin's kid. She knew specifically, I think the reason why she kidnapped Leia was because it was Senator Organa's kid. And and Senator Organa and Obi-Wan were really good friends during the Republic, and it was well documented. Plus, like, it's only 10 years after the Republic, so a lot of that information isn't lost and still pretty well known. You know what I mean? Like, right now, we're at the point in Star Wars where, like, when the New Hopes happen, when a New Hope starts, being a Jedi and using the Force is almost like a, like, like legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one really believes it
Yeah.
anymore. Like, you have Han, who's like, this is a ton of bullcrap. Like, I've grown up my whole life pretty much not seeing the Force. What are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
But, like, this point in time where we're at right now, there's still a lot of that left over. Like, there's still a lot of people who were alive to see the Jedi at their peak. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. And like I said, it makes sense to like how they all did it. I just thought that it was kind of like well, it's just cuz at the end of the second episode, I'm kind of going to blur this a little bit, but like she talks like the Reva or whatever her name is, Reva. She's like
Reva, yeah.
She's like, "Oh yeah, Anakin survived." Dun dun dun. How does she know Vader's Anakin?
Well,
I don't think anybody knows that ever.
I'm pretty sure
Because
that...
even Vader is like, "Yeah, no, Anakin Skywalker died. Like I killed Anakin Skywalker." Like he says that as Vader in a lot of situations.
Well, and that's more him saying that person you knew is dead, and that's who I am. I think like that's more symbolizing why he says that, unless of him trying to hide his identity, if that makes sense. More him just symbolizing that person in me is gone. I will say though, he would never allow any of his underlings to ever refer to him as Anakin.
Oh yeah, no,
for that,
I know,
for that very
and that's
reason.
why I don't like so far the main bad guy.
I like her a lot.
I hate her. She's annoying, and I don't like her acting.
I think so. Real quick before I move on to talking about her, so I will say though, I don't know if a lot of people would know. I want to say that she might know it's Anakin because we don't know a ton about her backstory, but I'm assuming she was one of the... In the beginning of the first episode, they show, like, Revenge of the Sith. Like, the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, they, like, tie up everything.
Which, by the way, I loved that first little part. I loved that. I thought it was super cool. And they show, like, younglings running away, and they show a lot of a lot of clone troopers murdering Jedi. And personally, I kind of thought she might be one of those younglings, and if she wasn't, it's possible the reason she knows who Anakin is and why he's Darth Vader is because she's part of the Inquisitors, and the Grand Inquisitor is an ex-Jedi. So it's... And, like, it's not, like, uncommon for some people in the Jedi Order to know, like, Anakin betrayed them. But also, I do agree, it is a little off that she called him Anakin. I didn't like that either, because she shouldn't have referred to him as that, even if she did know the truth. You know, he only is referred to as Darth Vader.
And
also,
the fact that she also said, like, he survived. Like, it's... Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, because Anakin didn't survive. Darth Vader survived.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I don't know how much I want to, like, there's a chance she knows she has, like, insider information, which is why she knows that. But even then, like, even Darth Vader himself would say he died.
Yeah.
Not to hide the identity, but because the person who Anakin is dead.
Exactly.
And so, I would say, considering the fact Ahsoka didn't know who Darth Vader was in Rebels, I think it is kind of a leap to assume she just knew by general information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the only way she would have known would be insider information. I think it's a leap to go off of general information. I think it's more insider. And then even at that point, if that's how she knows, is by the Inquisitors telling her, well, then those Inquisitors don't have a healthy fear of Vader like they should. Because if Vader...
should be afraid of him.
Yeah, if Vader heard that, Vader would kill them immediately.
Oh, yeah, no,
like,
100%.
No hesitation. That aside, though, so real quick, to give a quick overlay, They show the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, and then they go into like they're on Tatooine, and the Inquisitors show up, and they're like the villains of the show. The Inquisitors were made in Rebels, and they're a group of dark side users. I don't call them Sith because there's only 2 Sith. But they're dark side users who train underneath Darth Vader and report to Darth Vader directly, who hunt down Jedi.
Day his bitches.
Yeah, and I loved that opening monologue about how Jedi hunt themselves. I don't know about you, but I thought that was really like a cool inside look
at
how
that.
they hunt Jedi. And then a Jedi ends up using the Force to protect the shopkeeper the tavern keeper that let him stay there, and then he runs away. Which, by the way he got away by pulling down some, like...
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the chase scenes in this, honestly.
Dude, the chase scenes are booty.
They are all absolutely ass.
Like, the only chase scene that wasn't booty was in episode 2, which we can talk about later.
It's debatable. I will debate that, but yeah.
the parkour scene? You know which scene I'm talking about.
I mean, that's not a
Reva.
chase scene. That's just her running on rooftops. She's not chasing anybody.
She's chasing Obi.
No, she's not.
Obi's
She's
stationary,
running. She is running towards fire. She does not know what is over there. She's just.
She has a.
Yeah, she's got a guess. She's got a guess, but she's just parkouring on top of roofs. It's just doing cool Force jumping badass shit, which was sick. I didn't need to see it.
But I will say I'm a little conflicted about the Inquisitors, the villains, because I felt like the Grand Inquisitor was preaching patience more than he should have been, because they're not directly Sith, but they're dark side users training under Sith.
Yeah.
So they use the ideals of the Sith. They use the only reason they're not directly called a Sith is because they are not one of the 2 Sith. But they can learn from them, and they learn from their concepts in the Sith.
I mean, it's also just a chain of command. Like, she was just outright, like, not listening to her commander.
Yeah,
like,
I think they should have demonstrated him being like, you need to listen to me.
Yeah.
But I just didn't, and this is nitpicky, I just didn't like the fact he was like, you need to have patience, you're too rash. He should have been like, you're being dumb, you need to outsmart them, and like punish her with like violence. Cause that's I don't know, dude. The whole concept of them preaching patience.
Well, it just goes back to like they hunt themselves kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like I understood that, like, the patience, like, hey, listen, like, the Kenobi thing is done. We're here to hunt other things. Like, you need to do what you're told kind of thing. Like, fall in line.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, dude. I can also agree that Sith or dark side users, Inquisitors, like, teaching patience is kind of, like, a little wonky.
Especially because that's literally one of the main things of, like, the Jedi.
Yeah.
and the Jedi and the Sith aren't just like, oh, good guy, bad guy, but their ideals, the way they teach, the way they go about life is 100% opposites at every corner.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe Vader's doing that to keep them all weak.
Yeah. I also know the Grand Inquisitor might be a little bit different, like, because he was an ex-Jedi Guardian.
Yeah.
So maybe he still holds on to some of those tenets, not because he believes in them, but because he knows it's a useful tool.
Exactly. It's smart to set the trap and just let it happen.
I do like Reva in the aspect. I liked why she was chasing Kenobi. Like, she saw a big fish that no one's been able to get. She wants favor. She wants to become the pupil to Darth Vader himself. And bringing his most hated person to him, it would be the way to do it, you know?
Yeah, but she's also trying to, like, kill him. Because, like,
yeah, I mean,
in the second episode, when she puts when she John Wicks him, that was another thing I thought was laughable. Just saying. John Wick's.
What do you mean?
The third John Wick movie when he gets
I haven't
all.
seen that
Okay,
movie.
so third John Wick movie, he gets all of the assassins. Because, like, John Wick's an assassin, right?
Yeah.
So he gets a bounty on his head for every assassin in the world to hunt him. Right?
Okay.
Or is that the second one? No, it's the second one. And Kenobi just got John Wicked. She put out a bounty, and every bounty hunter was like, let me check my watch. Kenobi. And then
Which I wasn't surprised by that. That's very on brand.
30 minutes and a 10-minute chase scene that was unneeded of Kenobi saying, Leia, 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 Leia.
I can understand why. Okay, we're talking about episode 2 too much.
It's because
we'll combine both episodes into one.
Yeah.
We'll do that. But before we talk about that, because I don't want to just spend time talking about what we disliked for the first 20 minutes. We can definitely get into episode 2 in a sec, because I definitely was a little annoyed at that scene. I will say, what I love so far is the Kenobi in general, like, beaten down, like, he's having nightmares about Anakin. He feels he thinks he killed Anakin because, like you mentioned in the second episode, she says he's alive and he's shook. He shooketh. So he thinks he murdered his pupil, his best friend, a brother of his student. He thinks he murdered him. Everyone around him and everything he believed in is dead now, pretty much. And he only has one thing, and it's to watch Luke. And they showed.
Sorry.
You're good. He went to one of the first things we see from him is him going to work at a meat factory.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny.
And cutting some meat, putting it in his pocket for his animal, and like it's a routine. And they keep showing him on like the speeder back to the city with all the other workers, and he always looks so sad every time. And the fact that they showed that like repetition like 3 times, really beating into you like this is not the same man that he once was. I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah, he doesn't go on adventures anymore.
Exactly. And instead of telling us, they showed us. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. There was several opportunities when there was people who were being beaten down or people who were being treated wrongly, and he didn't stand up for them, which it does hurt to see one of the greatest Jedi and heroes not be that. But like also I kind of thought it was good because like eventually at the end of the movie he won't be that way, but like considering he's had 10 years of hiding, 10 years away, separate from those extreme events, he's not the same person he once was.
Yeah.
And he becomes a hermit when he's old Ben in the originals. But even old Ben has a little bravado back. You know what I mean? So it's like seeing that growth to that is what I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I second that. I think I love everything about like his character so far. Like every time he is on screen, I'm just like, this is what this show is about. I just want to see the progression of him, like, coming back into, like, hope and, like, finding the things that are, like, so this is why I'm still fighting kind of thing. I have loved every second of that. And I loved the scene where, what's his name? Uncle what?
Organa.
No.
Oh, Owen. Oh, you're talking about Uncle Owen.
Yeah, Uncle Owen. When he is getting like questioned and stuff like that by the third sister.
Yes.
And she's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody. Like, I'm gonna kill this dude and his whole family unless y'all give me the Jedi. And he's just like, nah, like, Jedi are vermin, and I kill vermin. And then it's just like, hey, thanks for standing up for me back there. And he's like, I didn't do it for you. Go away.
Which I love that dynamic because in the movies, in the original movie in The New Hope, you really only get that dynamic that Owen does not like Kenobi in one
It's
scene
the
when
blue
Luke
milk at
brings,
the very beginning.
yeah, when he's like, oh, I heard things about like old crazy Ben, and he's like, you stay away from him, he's bad. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
And then Owen dies, and we don't hear from Owen ever again.
Yeah.
But in the comics, which are no longer canon, unfortunately, but in the comics originally, before Disney bought them, there was lots of times where Owen pretty much told Obi-Wan when he was watching them like this to fuck off.
Yeah.
I love that they kept that dynamic, and the whole, like you said, that line about vermin. Oh, mwah, mwah, such a good line.
Yes, sir.
I will say, so in that scene too, something I loved about that scene was when she's like cuts off that dude's hand,
That was a lady.
lady's hand. Yeah, when she cuts off that lady's hand, I was so about it, dude. I mean, for one, it's not Star Wars unless an appendage gets cut off. There always has to be an appendage cut off. I love it, and also it really felt like the dark side. They don't need, the reason why the Sith were so hidden for so long, why Sidious was hidden, is because he had to be. He had to be in that situation. They weren't ruling, but now that the Sith are in charge and the Empire's in charge, they can be cruel. They can dominate openly, and the Inquisitors kind of felt like they were afraid to do that a little bit, but the third sister wasn't, which I absolutely loved. And I think that's why I like her. I can understand why you don't like her. The dialogue, she can be a little, her acting isn't great, but I just love the fact that she's unhinged.
I think her acting is good. I just think the script is like, it's very childish. Like, I feel like there's no like nuance to it. It's just
pretty
like
basic.
Leave me alone. You don't understand. I'll get that, Kenobi. Kind of thing. That's what I feel like she's saying. I know that she's not saying that, but like when she talks, and like when in the second episode when she walks into the room and she pulls out her lightsaber, she's like, Kenobi. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
I liked that part.
I hated it, dude.
In that part, she chases after Kenobi after staking all the bounty hunters on the city on him, because the Grand Inquisitor pretty much told her to fuck off and he was gonna handle it himself. And then so she sicked all the bounty hunters on them.
Broke chain of command again.
Which I love, because, bro, if a Sith truly believes they are stronger than their leader, they're gonna do what they need to do to
but she's not a Sith, Daniel. She's a fucking soldier.
She's an Inquisitor who is training under the ideals of a Sith.
Yeah, I know, but per your words, dark side user.
Yeah, dark side user. Yes, she's a dark Jedi who's training underneath those ideals, and which is why I'm like, I don't hate the fact that she's doing that as a dark side user. And then she ran into that room after kind of chasing him down.
Somehow
and he was
finding
hiding.
Them. Oh no, it's because she read the dude's mind.
Yeah, she read his mind and figured out where he was going. And then found him in that room, and like the hey there Kenobi, like I thought that was just her like toying with him, which I enjoyed. Yeah. I thought you didn't like it?
It's just cheesy. It's just like really predictable, I guess. Like when she said it, I was just kind of like, yep, same.
Mm-hmm. So is it you just don't like the dialogue she has?
I just think that it's written in a way to entertain children, and I'm okay with that. Like, because I think that this show is also trying to be like, hey, kids. I mean, this is also why we're running around a town and having Kenobi be, it's kind of a gross word to use, but whipped by a 10-year-old girl. um like while they're in the town, she's just like, but I want to do this. Hey, wait, why don't you use your lightsaber? Make me float. Like, shut the fuck up. We're in a crowded town. I'm wanted.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
He keeps trying to explain that.
Yeah.
She won't listen. And, like, that is the one annoying thing about Leia. It's like, either she's a 10-year-old who doesn't listen and doesn't understand, like that situation.
Or she's wise as fuck.
She has the emotional intelligence of an adult.
Yeah.
Which one is it? And then when she saw his face on there, like, I can understand why she wouldn't be listening.
And then she ran away for 15 minutes.
Yeah. I can understand why she would run away in general, and why she wouldn't listen to him in general, because it's a stranger trying to kidnap her. Or not kidnap her, but apparently trying to bring her home. But she just got kidnapped, so I can understand that distrust already.
Like,
but seeing his face on the hologram shouldn't have been the trigger for her.
He saved her. It's like they wrote all that and then had to find a reason for there to be conflict. Like, they went through a whole couple minutes of them building trust and, like, so what happened to your droid? Oh, it got stomped, but that's okay. It'll get better. To clotheslining a bounty hunter and then seeing his name. Oh no, who are you? What are you? You're actually the kidnapper. It's like, no, I just broke you out of a prison and I've been walking around with you for 10 minutes telling you that I'm a Jedi and that, you know, I have a lightsaber, and you just 5 minutes ago you asked me to float you, and now you're running away from me. What?
Yeah,
it does not. It story-wise does not make sense for them to do that. It would make sense if they did that at the beginning.
I
like
agree.
if
100% agree.
One, like when they got out into the open, if she was like, "Nah, fuck you, Kenobi," and dipped. And then we had that whole scene of like, get him, right? And then they build trust, and then she finds them. Like, I felt like that would flow. But the way that they did it, they just chopped it up to where it was like, what's happening? Like, you're telling a story in, like, the most, like, jagged, like, jigsaw puzzled way. It all makes sense, but it's just like, it doesn't flow.
Yeah, well, and I totally agree, because that's kind of what I was getting to, is like, the concept of her not trusting him makes sense, but like you said, the order of how they did it to him.
Yeah.
And her seeing his face, I thought was a stupid trigger for her to not trust him, because for one, she's 10. I highly doubt she's gonna connect the dots that like the reason that they kidnapped her was to get to him.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that. If anything, she should have just saw his face and be like, oh yeah, they're chasing us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, hey, he kidnapped a girl, kind of thing.
Yeah, this is an advanced civilization with tons of cameras that people who kidnapped me probably saw, who did already see his face, which she's aware of, because she saw him talk to him. Like, that dude saw his face, then ended up posting it everywhere, and that's why they're in the situation they're in. And, like, that to me is what I thought she was going to think. But when she was like, they kidnapped me to get to you, I was like, how did you do that, 3D chess?
Yeah, exactly.
You're still a child. Like, you should just jump to the easiest conclusion. And also, like, it did feel weird for her to not trust him when they've already kind of specifically had her gain trust
30 seconds before the scene of the wrist going off. They had the sit down talk about a droid, like, little heart moment, and then it was, I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's not that she distrusted him that was bad. It was just in the way the order they did
like it makes sense for her to distrust him. He's a stranger, like, it makes sense, but
and she's just been kidnapped. So from her point of view, it could just be someone else
absolutely terrifying
her for more money.
Yes, absolutely terrifying. But they also established that he has a lightsaber, and that he's a Jedi, And she knows what that is.
Well, to be fair, they didn't establish he's a Jedi because she doesn't believe him yet.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because she saw the lightsaber and was like, why aren't you using it if you have one? And then using kid logic, well, if you're not using it, then you don't know how to use it. And then was like, make me float line was her saying, show me you're a Jedi. It was super obnoxious and kind of annoying that she was doing that in the middle of the street.
Maybe I just don't like her because she's arrogant as fuck.
But it was that was her establishing she doesn't believe he's actually a Jedi.
Yeah.
That was kind of what that line of questioning was.
Yeah.
Which is why once he did use the Force to lower to the ground, when he got down to the ground, instead of being like her being
when he like magically popped down there.
Oh yeah, by the way, I immediately thought that too. I was like, that was like a 3-second delay right there.
There were so many scenes like that.
Instead of him getting down there and then just picking her up and running, she's like, you are a Jedi.
Oh my
It's like, okay.
Yep.
We've already established that him being a Jedi is something you shouldn't talk about out loud. And now that you got the confirmation he's a Jedi, you're going to continue to do it out loud.
Or the fact that you've been running away for this man for literally real time 15 minutes, and then you jump off a ledge, catch yourself on a rope, and then say, Ben, help me. Oh no. It's like, why the fuck are you running away then?
Yeah.
Why should I help you? You're running away from me. I've been trying to tell you for God knows how long since I've helped you out of this prison to trust me. I'm trying to get you home to your parents. And now you jump off a roof and now you expect me to help you? What the fuck are you doing?
and it's not even that, like, it's terrible that she is like conflicted about trusting him. It's just the fact that like she acts like a child and acts like a 23-year-old and acts like a child and acts like a 23-year-old.
There's no flow.
It's either one or the other.
Yes.
Either she's uber inconsistent, because her being inconsistent about whether she trusts him or what she wants isn't terrible. It's not that bad because that's what a child would do.
It's just the stakes that are happening around it.
It's just bad because she went from being flippy floppy on not trusting him like any child would be in her situation because they're confused, to being like, you're hiding something, and then emotionally reads him. Yeah, and like emotionally calls him out on something.
She's force sensitive, Daniel.
Force. You made that joke over the phone, and I'm just saying it now. This no,
she is, dude. That's the only reason. The reason why she can read people's minds, dude. She's reading the people's minds. Can't you see her eyes and her facial expressions when she looks at people? And then she's like, I'm reading your thoughts. Your father never loved you, and now you just have to repeat all the words that he says because you want to accomplish something and make him notice you.
Yeah, that whole thing where she like told her older cousin off about like how he's insecure about his father,
and then
that I was like,
what does she do?
8th grader, no 10-year-old would ever say that to another
Daniel,
child.
What does she do?
You know what they would say? You're stupid.
Immediately after that, has a heartfelt conversation with her father, and then runs away to the forest after she was instructed to not do stupid shit. Who the fuck is Leia?
I like the
Who
fact
is
that
she?
Leia, I like the fact that Leia is like adventurous and strong-willed and stubborn.
Yeah, I do too. In
the
the original movies, but as a child.
Well, no. Even as a child, I like those qualities. The issue isn't that she has those qualities. The issues is they sprinkle in lots of moments where she's acting like she knows and understands the world on top of those qualities.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she's able to deeply read someone's deep insecurities with their father and then immediately cannot use the emotional intelligence
to listen to her father.
Exactly. Like that. The fact she didn't listen to her father is the fact she didn't listen to her father, in my opinion, isn't the issue. I expect a child not to listen to her father. It's the fact that she was smart enough to recognize that someone else is terrified of their father, and then not listen to her own
Yeah, and
father.
then to not respect her father's wishes.
Yeah, that is my issue.
Yeah.
It's not that, like, her character, they do a really good job of having it be like a prideful child, but then they mix the prideful child with an extremely emotionally intelligent adult, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And it's like just
uber
have her be a child.
conflicting.
It's like just either have her be a child or have her be wise past her years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I would love if that is her character. If it were just her being a wise ass and just super smart, and like that, I would love that, because that's pretty much who Leia is in all of the other movies. Like, she's smart, like on the nose, like drop of a dime kind of person, and I'm so about it. I cannot stand when she is on screen. Kid version.
Like that they. I can understand that. There's things about it I don't love. I'm hoping that the further the show goes on, the more they'll kind of wrinkle it out.
Oh yeah, this is not me hating the show. Just so you know, listener, you, Daniel, I don't hate the show. I just hate shitty writing.
I don't believe.
And I hate shitty character. I hate shitty character development, and like when things don't flow, it completely pulls me out of the reality that someone's trying to like pull me into. And the first episode pulled me in with the stupid forest chase scene. I forget about that. But like the second episode made me go, okay, please get better. Like, if this is how choppy it's going to be, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, I think the first episode was phenomenal, with a few things here and there that I wasn't a huge fan of. And then the second episode, I feel like still had really good qualities. Like Obi-Wan having the flashbacks and Obi-Wan having PTSD pretty much.
Yeah.
And like the fear, the utter fear he had when he figured out Anakin was alive, which he should be afraid, dude.
Oh yeah.
Obi-Wan knows he shouldn't have won that fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He knows that fight he beat on Mustafar when he beat Anakin, that was because Anakin was arrogant. Anakin was not thinking clearly. He knows if Anakin was in his clear state of mind, he would have lost that fight. Like, he definitely was. He had the geography and the fact that he was extremely emotional and like seeing red. That it was the perfect storm for Obi-Wan to win.
Yeah.
And like and then he knows how powerful Anakin is, and how terrifying he is as a like Force user. So now he knows that this guy is alive for one, and he's wanting to kill him. And I don't know if Obi-Wan believes he can beat him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Obi-Wan believes if he fights him again he'll win.
I mean, he doesn't.
Now
we
knows.
We know he doesn't.
And we now know. Yeah, I don't believe Obi-Wan thinks he thinks he can beat him again. And then he knows that he's going to be chasing him, and he's out there terrifying the universe, and no one's going to be able to stop him. But then also, the one thing that Obi-Wan did that was supposed to kind of make up for the big failure of the Jedi Order was stopping the Chosen One from terrorizing the whole universe.
Yeah.
And defeating Anakin. Like, Yoda was pretty much like, look, you need to kill him. We cannot let him and Sidious tag team this. Like, you have to beat him in Revenge of the Sith. And then they split. And Obi-Wan did. And now he's realizing he
didn't.
Fucked that up too.
Yep.
He fucked that up too. And so I love all of those things in episode 2. And I think episode 2 still had some good stuff to it. Like, I like that Senator Organa is involved in it more so. I'm enjoying that relationship between the two of them.
I love all of the cast that has returned for their roles that they had at the end of Revenge of the Sith. It's beautifully done. Amazing.
I really enjoyed that. I'm excited to see how they develop it more. I do have issues of how episode 2 did with Leia. And I do agree, when I watch her on screen, there's a couple times where I'm like, I don't really enjoy this that much. But also, as much as it does annoy me to a degree, I am glad that they have her in the show.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Leia is very underrepresented in this time frame and time area. And like I think it's awesome that they're giving her some more story. You know what I mean? Like more development.
I'm
and
about
I like
it.
that.
I just
Even if
want
it's a little,
it to get better.
Yeah. It's a little rough, and I'm hoping it will get better. But even if it's a little rough, I'm still enjoying the fact that we get to see young Leia.
Yeah.
To be honest.
When Leia first showed up on the screen, I'm not gonna lie, I went like this. Sick. like I was really expecting this to be like more of like Kenobi on the run. Like on Tatooine and bitches trying to kill him. That's what I really wanted this to be in my heart of hearts. I really just wanted to see badass lightsaber fights for 6 episodes straight. And now that I'm getting, like, of course, Kenobi's main character, but I'm also getting, like, backstory of a character that, yes, is important, but is not as important as the other twin. It just kind of makes me go, I'm about it. I'm here for the ride, but I will not lie. When she showed up on screen, I was like, okie dokie. This is how it's going to be. Okay.
I can understand that to
Yeah.
a degree. Yeah, I can get it. When going into this, I didn't really have any expectations because I didn't know how, outside of I wanted it to be good.
Oh, yeah, same.
Because I didn't know how they were going to do it. I wasn't sure. Like, I was very confused on how they actually planned on what they planned on having Obi-Wan do. I knew it was going to be on Tatooine, but I didn't know if they were going to be like chased around, and I didn't believe that they would find him on Tatooine, just because then Darth Vader and Sidious would have known that, and they would have immediately bombed Tatooine.
Facts.
So I knew they weren't going to find him there, that they were going to have to go somewhere else, but I didn't know how. And I do agree, like, yes, Luke is more important than Leia, even though Yoda did say in the 5th movie there is another. So if Luke did turn to the dark side, or if Luke did get killed, they just planned on training Leia, and that was supposed to be like the sequel series was supposed to be more about Leia's story. The sequel movies were supposed to be that.
All I'm
George
hearing
Lucas's original
is Plan B.
But she was Plan B, and the original sequels were going to be more about her as well, from George's vision. But so because Luke is way more important, we got more about Luke in the originals.
Yeah.
Luke was way more. We got way more story about Luke, and when we did get Leia, it wasn't Leia by herself or Leia's development. It was Leia and co. So I don't feel like we really, even in the original movies, got a ton of development for Leia.
I felt like we, like, in my mind, I feel like we didn't get to see a lot of her development on screen, I will agree, but like we also saw, like, I felt like we saw a lot of her in those movies, but I don't know. That's just also me.
I mean,
like, I haven't watched those movies in a really long time.
She's in the movies a ton. Like, she's one of the main 3 characters. She's super involved the whole time. It's just her character development consists of her and Han's love story pretty much. And that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, I feel like we dived deep into Luke as a character in those movies, where yes, Leia's on screen and you get to learn what type of person Leia is. She's really like Padme if Padme decided to fight. If Padme picked up a gun, she's Padme.
If
like Padme with a
Padme
gun
was
is what
Clone
I think.
Wars Padme.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like Clone Wars Padme, but Padme was willing to kill someone.
Facts.
Like, that is what I think of Leia, and she's like, they demonstrate that in the originals a lot. It's just we don't they don't dive as deep into it as Luke, because Luke's our main character, and I'm fine with that. That's why I'm happy that we're getting a little bit of a backstory about her now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, going into it, I didn't expect them to do it. I wanted them to do more with Luke, to be honest. Or I didn't know exactly, but I was expecting them to do something with Luke, and I was kind of hoping for that. And then when they showed Padme, I was like, this isn't what I expected. This isn't really what I wanted.
Leia.
But I'm happy for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You said Padme.
Oh, I meant Leia.
I knew. Yeah, no. And I feel that. Like, I honestly, I didn't even think that it was going to have anything to do with Luke or Leia. Like, yeah, I know that he was, like, watching over Luke because that's his job. Like, that's this until New Hope.
Yep.
But like I said, I really just wanted badass saber fights, and, like,
I believe we'll get them.
We'll find out. I don't know. It's Disney, dude. It's Disney. I know that they just cut off a hand, but I'm not saying that this is an ignorant statement. I'm saying it out of only seeing 2 episodes. This is a pretty, in my opinion, half-assed show at the moment. In my opinion.
The Kenobi and Ko scenes are really good. Kenobi and Leia scenes have been kind of mid.
Which
I will say, that the pilot was very, very strong. I
yes.
really liked the pilot.
I loved the pilot.
I think the writing in that was really good. Too, especially like the way he interacted with the young Jedi.
Yeah, I agree.
But I can understand like I'm not upset. I will be upset if we finish this show and we don't get one good lightsaber fight. I will be very upset. Trust me, I'm there with you. I want to see a lightsaber fight. I'm not upset we didn't get one.
Yeah.
Was I a little disappointed we didn't get one at the end, or at least a little saber touch? Yeah.
Oh,
when
the second episode,
I wasn't upset.
When the second episode ended, and I hadn't seen 2 lightsabers hit yet, I was like, okay.
I guess part of the reason
this
why
is prequel stuff, man. This is like Star Wars was. This is like prime fighting Star Wars like era. Like, Inquisitors have spinning lightsabers, and we just see the Grand Inquisitor get yeeted. There was absolute, like, we saw him stop her lightsaber with the Force in the first episode.
So cool.
Within the first episode. And he can't stop her from doing something stupid in the second episode. How could he have not seen that, like looming in the background? Oh, this chick has undermined my authority since the beginning of this show. Not only during the second episode did I tell her, hey, back the fuck off. I'm dealing with Kenobi now. He's stuck on this planet. This is my job. But then she also undermines him again, puts a whole hit squad on him, and then proceeds to chase him parkour hi-ya, on the rooftops, and then stabs him in the chest. How did he not see that? Why was there no cool fight right there? There needed to be a dope-ass fight right there. And then if he got killed, I wouldn't care. I mean, I would care, but yeah.
So I hate the fact he got killed, for one,
same.
because it retcons all of Rebels, like we were talking about over the phone. It retcons him out of all of season 1 of Rebels, which then at that point retcons a lot of Rebels. So I'm trying not to get upset about that. I'm trying to give the show time to develop, because who knows? They'll bring him back. I'm expecting them to. I would 100% expect them to acknowledge him dying and how they are going to fix that. Because if by the end of the show, Eric, he is still dead, I will be very angry.
Oh, I believe you. I don't understand how I don't understand why they needed to kill him in the first place.
They didn't.
And that's what I'm
They
saying.
didn't
Like,
need to.
there could have been a dope ass fight, and then she runs away, and now she's a rogue inquisitor. Holy fuck, that's way better writing. Now you have inquisitors chasing Kenobi, and you have a unhinged psychopathic person with a lightsaber chasing Kenobi. That's terrifying.
Yeah, an unhinged Dark Jedi with Inquisitors on both of their asses.
Yeah, that is good storytelling. Not, I'm gonna stab you in the chest.
I would have loved that. I will say, if they were to kill the Grand Inquisitor, like temporarily kill, because I expect him to be revived in some way, I expect them to use dark side force magic to bring him back.
Palp. Somehow the Grand Inquisitor has returned.
No, I expect them to use witch magic, not Palp, where Palp had clones. That was different. Palp had clones.
Somehow.
I expect them to use witch magic. Because, okay, look.
No, I know.
Ignoring the Palp stuff, there is canon Star Wars where they do this before. This is not completely unheard of.
No, I know.
I only state that because I try to ignore the sequels as much as possible, and I try to not count them.
I mean, yeah. But you're talking about, like, the Dathomir witches and stuff?
Yes, the Dathomir witches.
Yeah. They're badass. They could easily bring him back.
Exactly.
But will they is the question.
I expect them to do something like that. I will say, if they were to kill him, like they did, I prefer them killing him this way than her besting him in a one-on-one combat. Because he is very talented and very well trained as a Jedi, on top of very well trained as 10 years on top of that as an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
So he is a seasoned fighter.
Yeah.
Because he was a temple guard.
Yeah.
Temple guard's number one thing is to practice fighting, which is why the fact he got kind of shanked and kind of got fucked over and cucked that way, I way prefer, because even though it's annoying and it doesn't bring any like there's no like payoff them doing it that way. If you're going to kill him, I prefer you doing it that way, because at least when he comes back, it doesn't sully him as a fighter. It just means that he got a cheap shot on someone he didn't expect to get a cheap shot on him.
Yeah.
Like, because, to be fair, even though he did stop a lightsaber, and I think he should have been aware that she's going to try to pull some shit.
Yeah.
The way she killed him, he wouldn't have been able to react to it. Like, he should have been on guard, so then he wouldn't have put himself in the position for her to do that.
Not just gingerly walking up to her. This is my operation now.
He shouldn't have turned his back to her. That was his mistake. He turned his back to her, and then she did it. But the moment she had her lightsaber up to his back, there was nothing he could have done, because he wouldn't have been able to stop the lightsaber mid ignition type of thing.
Yeah.
So like it was his mistake that he turned his back to her, and then she was able to get a cheap shot. It annoys the fuck out of me they did that. I agree with you. It would have been way better writing if he just beat her in combat and she ran away.
Yeah.
That would have been way better writing.
And like, but we get a dope sick fight scene and more crazy people.
But at least they didn't fuck him over by getting rid of all of his skill. They just
they just stuck a saber in his back.
Yeah, they just potentially removed him as a character.
That sounds like two losses, Daniel.
It is 2 losses. Okay, I'm trying to rationalize.
You can't
something.
rationale bad writing.
There's also another issue I kind of have with the Inquisitors is the Inquisitor with the helmet.
Oh yeah, his voice is so cool. I was listening to this with the KRKs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, every time he talks, there is some low bass that follows his tones. Just cool. Sorry, go ahead.
I like his voice, and I don't have an issue with the actor they chose for him. I think they did a pretty good portrayal of him in that, like, costume-wise from his counterpart in Rebels.
Yeah.
Because him and the Grand Inquisitor are both in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And in Rebels Season 1, spoiler alert, when Grand Inquisitor dies, Season 2, because you see both of them together in Season 1 and 2, but in Season 2, he's then takes over for the Grand Inquisitor as the main guy chasing them down.
Yeah.
And where the Grand Inquisitor was mocking Ezra the whole time, and he would mock Kanan Jarrus, he pretty much toyed with them. Every time he encountered the rebel group, like the main characters in Rebels, he toyed with them and he mocked them. And he was pretty ruthless, but it was like someone
like a cat
who's
and
ruthless.
mouse.
Yeah, it was very much so cat
Playing
and mouse.
with his food kind of thing.
Then in Season 2, the dude with the helmet, it was full gorilla.
Yeah.
Like, full just running into it. It was like a bull in a china shop. The dude was not playing with his food. The dude was not mocking them. The dude was not toying with
was
them.
hungry.
The dude was just pure anger and pure rage and pure just aggression. Aggression. And that's what kind of annoyed me, because, like, he was like, third sister, you go too far. It's like, what? What?
But he hasn't had a character arc yet, Daniel.
You don't care that you, like, this is so different than how you are in Rebels. Like, I mean,
that's like years down the line, though, isn't it?
It's like 3 years or 5 years. It's like, it's like within the couple years. It's not that far.
Gotcha.
It's because Rebels takes place, quite a bit before The New Hope. Because Season 3 of Rebels, they see Darth Maul finds Obi-Wan and on Tatooine, and he's still Luke is still like a young boy at that time, or like a young teenager. He's not 16. He's like 13 or 12.
Okay, yeah.
So like, the time frame is like within the next 5 years type of thing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I give you a little funny?
And so, yes, just real quick, I just finished this thought.
Yes, sorry.
So I remember watching that character in Rebels, and he like puckering my butt a little. I'd be like, holy shit, this dude's terrifying. Like, I love this unbridled like aggression, and then now he's like preaching like patience and preaching like restraint. I'm like, you don't use restraint.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So one of the writers, Joby Harnold is a producer and writer known for KENOBI, right? Also known for Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. And then 2014's John Wick.
Oh, so you worked on John Wick.
My joke that I said, saying that KENOBI got John Wicked, is because he literally got John Wicked.
That's funny.
Sorry. I'm looking at directors and writers for this show because I want to talk shit about the writers now.
You're fine. Yeah, So the guy who plays the fifth brother, Sung Kang,
the hat dude.
Yeah, the hat dude, the Hat Inquisitor. He said that he didn't watch any of Rebels.
Well, then why the fuck are you playing a dude from Rebels?
Yeah, personally, I don't like when actors do that. I understand, like, for example,
source material.
Will Smith not wanting to, like, let's per se say Will Smith didn't want to watch the original Aladdin because he wanted to make his own genie and he didn't want to try to copy what Robin Williams did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can respect that because it's not in the same timeline. It's a different adaptation. It's a remake. It's not supposed to be a one for one, and it's not in the same universe.
Yeah.
It's a remake. It's a reimagining.
Yeah.
This isn't a reimagining of Rebels. This is in the same timeline as Rebels, or it was supposed to be. At this point, I think Disney might just be retconning their own show, because Rebels is Disney's first Star Wars piece of source material they made. Rebels was the first.
Sorry, go ahead.
Rebels was the first piece of Star Wars material Disney ever made, and now I feel like they're throwing it out the window.
I mean, they probably are. It's Disney.
And it's supposed to be in the same timeline and the same universe, so it's like you're not making a new version of this character. You're playing the same character. You should watch the source material.
Yeah.
But also, the way he's being portrayed, I don't think is the actor's fault.
It's the writer's
fault. I think it's the writer's fault. Like, he's brooding just like the original guy did, too.
Writer slash directors.
Yeah, like, the fact that they're now portraying him as, like, that in this way is, like, just doesn't... I mean, because the Hat Dude, the fifth brother, didn't really do much. Like, he did a lot in Rebels, but he didn't talk much in Rebels. So it's like...
Yeah, he was just a brute.
Yeah, like, dialogue-wise, it wasn't a huge deal for me. But it's just the fact that now he's trying to... Like, I wouldn't care if they, like, made him be more broody, or, like, if he didn't talk much, or, I don't know, like, I didn't care that his voice was a little different. It just bothered me that he was preaching fucking restraint.
Yeah.
You are a
when
dark...
he is not.
You are a dark side user. You should not use restraint. That is not your MO. On top of it, we've seen this character. He doesn't use restraint. That is not his MO.
Character writing.
Yeah. So
writers and directors, dude.
the more and more we talk about this show, the more and more I'm nitpicking it, and which I don't want to do, because there was a lot about this show I really enjoyed.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's
a good show. It's got holes. At the moment, it's Swiss cheese.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know what they're gonna do with Darth Vader, because I don't think they're gonna have Darth Vader actually interact with Obi-Wan directly.
I think they
whatsoever.
I think they will.
I don't know if Obi-Wan and Darth Vader meet for the first time in New Hope since Revenge of the Sith. It's implied that they had not seen each other since Revenge of the Sith.
I think they're gonna do it, cause dude. Come on.
The reason why I don't think they will, I mean, it's Disney. They've shown they don't give a fuck about the original content.
Yep.
But in The New Hope, he says to Obi-Wan, "Last time we met, I was just a learner, but now I am the master.
Yeah.
You will not defeat me that easily." Indicating the last time they met, he was not a master in his own right, and he was just a learner, which the last time they fought was in Revenge of the Sith, where he was
literally
his Padawan. He wasn't the master. Well, it's 10 years later. In 10 years, I'm confident he won't just still be a learner. You know what I mean?
No, this man,
he's a master.
This man is the strongest that he has ever been right now.
Yeah, and
this
that's
is
why,
prime Vader.
And that's why, if they have him fight, I think they will. I think they'll have him fight just because it's
they have to.
It's Disney.
For audience to be to jingle the balls of the audience.
It ruins.
They don't care.
Dude, look,
they don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
Bro, you can't fuck with the original trilogy. You can't fuck with the original trilogy like that, dude.
But
I don't care if you. I don't care. I don't care if you make shitty fucking sequels. I don't care if you make shitty fucking prequels. Prequels to the prequels. I don't care if you.
I almost got very mad at you. I love the prequels.
I love the prequels too, dude. I grew up on the prequels.
Oh, yeah.
I love them to death. But I'm saying prequels to the prequels.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Even if they fucked with the prequels, I would be upset. I would be fuming. I would be angry. I love the prequels,
yeah.
but
it just goes
leave
back.
The originals.
Yeah, it just goes back to what you were saying, source material.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just
they own it now.
Oh, trust me, Disney's been flopping that in my face ever since they bought it, dude.
Yes.
Every Star Wars fan knows
No,
that.
I think that they will probably cross sabers even if it's just like a millisecond. They have to run into each other at least. I would be thoroughly disappointed if Obi-Wan didn't see Vader. Like, I don't care if they don't fight. If they don't fight, I don't care. But
that I think is going to happen. I think they'll see each other. I just don't think they'll fight. My issue is if they fight. I will have an issue with that.
Yeah. I can agree to that. But I also want them to fight simply just because I want Mustafar Part 2 and I want to see Obi-Wan run away like a little bitch.
See, what I think is going to happen is I think Vader's going to kill one of the Inquisitors.
I hope. I mean, I hope it's the chick.
I think it's going to be.
I hope it is.
I think what's going to happen is she is going to come really close to getting Obi-Wan and then mess up. And Darth Vader is going to be like, not only did you betray my orders, which if you're going to defy my orders, you better be ready to kill me type of mindset is what the Sith have. You know what I mean? Like, if you defy my orders, you better be ready to kill me. Because you're going to have to become the commander because I'm going to kill you.
Exactly.
Like, I will not allow disobedience.
Yep.
And so it's like, not only did you defy my orders, you killed your commanding officer who now I'm going to have to revive and then torture because fuck this bitch. You tried to go after my game and you tried to kill my game and you let him go.
It's just straight alpha mentality.
And you let him go?
Yep.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get a Vader fight. I do.
Oh,
I don't
we
think
have
they would
to.
Bring...
If there's not a Vader fight, I will rate this show a very dishonorable number.
I think we'll get a Vader fight for sure because we know Hayden Christian was practicing lightsaber fighting, and we know that Ewan McGregor was practicing lightsaber fighting.
It
too.
only makes sense, even if it's like a vision of them fighting. I'd be okay.
Ooh, I bet we'll get.
I'd be okay with that.
We'll get a flashback.
Yeah,
I bet we'll get some flashbacks.
Like flashbacks, but like new source material.
Yeah, like new perspective.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Like them, it might even be them just practicing, dude. Like them when they're training together.
I would love that.
But like, I think we'll see Ewan fight the Inquisitors. I do. I think Obi-Wan will fight the Inquisitors.
Yeah, it better be an Inquisitor down from episode here on out.
Yeah, like Reva is probably going to fight Darth Vader if Darth Vader fights anyone, is what I'm suspecting, because what's his name? The Grand Inquisitor and the fifth brother, if they try not to fuck rebels in the ass, are supposed to both be alive at the end of this show. So we'll see how they go with that.
Yeah, I'm okay if there's no deaths, and Obi is just like, I'm just here to like, cross sabers and like run away and like keep Leia alive, 'cause my brain also thinks that I'm gonna have to be dealing with her for 4 more episodes. Sorry, I just thought of that. Yeah, dude. I want to see Obi-Wan fighting, and I want to see Vader fighting. I want to see lightsaber battles, because the last ones we've gotten have been shit.
Oh yeah, dude. No, the lightsaber battles were so bad in the prequels.
Yeah, they were
not the
sequels.
Not the prequels. Sorry, the sequels.
They were the worst bit of choreography I've ever seen in my life.
They were. The choreography was garbage. They didn't even try. It was, and it's pathetic when you compare them to the sequels. The prequels.
Oh.
The prequels choreography was so good, and I think the fact that the fact that Hayden and the fact that Ewan are back, I feel like them alone will just raise. Like, I don't think like Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen would see bad choreography and not be like, "Hey, can I like give you some ideas?"
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
or go
I
off
mean,
script. Like
even
I feel like they would raise the level of choreography
yeah.
just by being there.
I was just gonna say, even in like the first episode, like when Order 66 was happening, like the green sabered teacher chick, like
That was awesome.
yeah, even the way that she was fighting, like the very swirling deflections and like just that kind of just that alone made me go, we better get some sick lightsaber battles, because that was prequel-esque. That made me go, I'm ready. Yeah, dude. I'm so like I'm still excited for this show. Like, given the slight letdown from the second episode, like I'm still very excited to see where this goes, and given where it does go, we'll see, but I'm still excited for it.
I'm very excited, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes uphill from here.
What would 1 out of 10 first episode?
First episode, I would say the first episode was a solid, honestly, a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
maybe even
same.
a little higher. Probably
Same.
even like, I want to say the only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 is there was a few moments. The chase scene in the forest is probably the only reason why I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10.
That made me physically laugh. Just
Dude,
so you know,
was
I was
so,
laying on my
yeah.
couch listening and watching this, and I physically busted out laughing because the way that she was running, dude, her legs were like right? Like, she was covering no ground. She was not running fast at all. And these full-grown adults, I'm not gonna get you. Come back here, Leia. I'm a tree stump.
It gave off like goblin. Okay, so like old school like horror movies where they have like a goblin or like a devil scaring a child, and how circle them
exactly
and run around and pop out from
yes
the corner,
dude
and
yes
it's, like,
yes
campy and cheesy.
yes
It gave me those vibes.
You're so right. Like, oh, I'm in the trees now. It's like, yep, you are. So I'm gonna run this way.
So the scene we're referring to, audience, is Leia at the end of episode 1 gets kidnapped, and she's running away from her captures, potential kidnappers, in the forest. And as she's running away, just like Eric described, she's moving really slow, but somehow these grown adults are moving even slower.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it makes no sense.
And there's like 4 of them too.
Yeah.
And they really should have been able to catch her sooner. But the worst part of it is
they should have caught her when all 3 of them were surrounding her.
Yeah.
There's no way that she runs away from that.
No, not
Sorry,
at all.
go ahead.
The worst part of it too is when one of them trips over a stick that's like half a foot.
Yeah, if
like
that.
6
Yeah.
inches
It's literally a twig.
off the ground. and then also there's another one who is running. She runs through 2 trees.
Yeah, and then
one
they
of
just
them
like stand there
one of
and
them
look
goes
through it.
One of them like just looks through it and then runs around. It's like, you could have gone through that.
I think the funniest part was when she slides under the branch, and it just looks so smooth, like action packed, like I'm a superhero, and then like slowly runs away. I thought it was just so bad.
Yeah, outside of the horrific chase scene,
Horrific.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
I would agree with that.
I got chills in the beginning opening scene when they were showing Order 66.
Oh yeah.
Chills.
Visually, the only thing that I didn't like about that scene was when all the kids were grouped up around the master or teacher, I need you to rewatch that scene, and I need you to look at the background. It oddly gyrates, because you know how they've been using the new technology where like they can all be in an actual room and project the background on all of them?
Yeah.
I think they were using it for that scene, and the way that the camera was moving around it, dude, the background looks wonky as fuck for like a
I'll have to check it out.
millisecond. Dude, I caught it and I was just like, it made my eyes like jitter, because I was like, whoa, like what was that? It was wonky. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, for those things, the fact that I really loved they did a great job of demonstrating like a beatdown Obi-Wan,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved the first episode for all of those things. And real quick, I do want to hear your thing. There was one last thing before we wrap this up. I wanted to mention about episode 1. I really loved.
Yeah.
I mentioned it over the phone. The thing I really loved about the interaction between the young Jedi and Obi-Wan was the fact that this young Jedi finds Obi-Wan, and he's like, "Help me." And like, to really understand the impact of what this scene has, you have to think about it from the perspective of this young Jedi.
Yeah.
Not only did he find the hero of the Republic during the Clone Wars, one of the like top 3, top 4 heroes in the Clone Wars, he's called the Negotiator. He was one of the best Jedi in lightsaber combat. Not only did he find him a general of the Republic, but he also found a Jedi Master who was on the Jedi Council. You can't get a higher level of authority inside the Jedi Order unless you become the Jedi Grand Master.
Yeah.
There's literally only one position, one person higher than the council, and even then, like, the prestige alone being on the council is enough where it's like you don't ever need to become the Grand Master. And he find this young Jedi who's scared, and he's running away like on the run, trying to figure out what's going on. He has no clue what to do. He has no vision, no order, and he finds one of the most fearless, dedicated leaders in his whole order, someone who should know what to do, someone who's always been known as a wise, confident leader, and he tells him to go throw his lightsaber into the sand.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It just shows, like, Obi-Wan's like, dude, we've lost. There's no more fight.
Yeah.
Give up, just go in hiding. There's nothing else we can do right now. Like, move on. Move on, pretty much. And it was heartbreaking, but beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
I love that scene.
No, I loved it too. It really set into motion like the mental struggle of Kenobi.
Exactly. So what would you rate the first episode, good sir?
First episode I would do 9 out of 10 too. Besides the horrific
Chase.
Yeah.
The chase.
The very end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about second episode for you?
I mean, honestly, before we talked about it, I was gonna say
You're welcome.
Now I can't.
You're welcome for ruining good things.
I'll say, like, I would say 6.5. It had enough
That's
in
good
there
shit.
that I really enjoyed, but it did have some pretty bad parts too.
I'm gonna be real rude about it, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a 6.6, cause
you broke my heart. You broke my morale just to rate it higher.
No, because 6.6 means
Order
that it needs to be
66.
massacred. Yeah. There were just a lot of things in it that just made me scoff. Scoff is the correct noises I was making during the second episode.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the No Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Spotify at A Noted Podcast or at The Noted Podcast. And please give us a like, follow, share, subscribe. The liking and sharing really matters a lot for the algorithm, and we love whenever you comment. Please subscribe. We want as much engagement as possible. Even if it's just one of you, we'll talk to just that one person.
Facts.
So thank you again. If you made it this far, we really appreciate y'all. And do you have anything you want to say before we end this?
I'm Batman.